Boom. We are live on the Javier Mendez Podcast. Coach Javier, long week, short week, who knows? A lot of interesting stuff to talk about, and I pulled it up. We were talking about it earlier. We can start with that, and then we're going to get to your fan questions. And just want to say thanks to everybody watching everything. I'm hearing some feedback.
Feedback?
Oh, it's me. Okay, I'm fixed. Sorry, guys. Ready to rock. But we will get back to the fan questions, so please leave them because we're going to go over a few topics first and then come back to it. So let me pull up the first thing, and let's see if I can find this. I had the karate, the Olympic karate. That was kind of crazy. People think that one guy should have won, you know. Did you watch that one, right, Hav?
Yes, I watched it. But that's point karate fighting, and excessive contact is actually a disqualification. You know, being that the other guy couldn't continue, regardless of whether it's intentional or unintentional. This one actually looked intentional somewhat, that he could have controlled it, and he didn't. So therefore, he knocked his opponent out. And I mean, the decision, according to the rules of the karate point fighting system, that was the correct award. The person that got knocked out won, which is, you know, it's kind of weird, but it is what it is. I mean, that was excessive force, you know, and you can't award someone breaking the rules with the title. You just can't do it. Even though, from our point of view, the guy that knocked the other guy out should have been the winner, but not from the rules. You broke the rules. And that's the point fighting system. I used to do point fighting way back in the day, and it used to always be, I lost the match, but I didn't really lose the match. And I used to just go, well, what do you mean? Well, yeah, I hurt the guy, and so I really didn't lose. And I used to tell myself, well, of course you lost, because according to the rules, you're not supposed to use excessive force. So if the guy's out there trying to outpoint you, and you're going out there trying to knock the guy's head off and inflict damage to his body, in person, I mean, you're disqualified. I mean, how can you say you didn't lose? You didn't play by the rules. Now, are the rules, should they change? To me, yeah. Yeah, to me, they should change. Otherwise, there's no fun in that. For me, I don't like watching that. It's.
Let me share it. Let me share it with you, if I can get us to take a look at this. So here's the kick. This is like the Olympic karate. Now I got to get this video to play somehow. Why is it not playing? New rookie at streaming. That's what's going on here, guys. Don't know what's happening. Let me try here. Okay, well, that's the aftermath. But here's the kick. This does it all. Got this from a guy's Twitter. Okay, that wasn't a good kick. Here we go. Oh, bad news. Now that looks like something in MMA, but in this point karate, which you used to fight in, that's not legit, is it, Av?
No. I mean, it kind of sucks because the kick apparently didn't look like it was that hard, but apparently it was. I mean, the guy was laid out for a bit. They had to take him out on a stretcher.
That was rough. I mean, yeah, Olympic karate, it's not MMA. Do you think that they would dumb down or I don't know, put more rules on MMA if they did it in the Olympics, like trying to stay away from harm, I guess? I mean, it looked like boxing in some cases is a little tempered down than pro boxing.
Well, I mean, okay, look what they did to boxing, in all honesty. They don't have wear headgear anymore. And if I'm not mistaken, if you're a professional, now you can compete in amateur boxing. Professional boxer can compete in amateur boxing. So I don't think they dummied anything down. I think, if anything, they made it more dangerous, and I guess it is what it is. If the fans want to see that, and the crowd comes and views it, then it's a success, right? I mean, they took out the headgear for the aesthetic reason, right? But taking out the headgear and then these guys having to fight from one day to another day, and all of a sudden, without the headgear, the potential getting cut is there. The bruising is more apparent. So there's more risk involved to actually winning, a tournament without headgear. There's more risk involved, and I guess that's what it is. It is what it is, right? That's what people want to see, and it makes winning a championship very difficult. So kudos to the guys that end up winning, because it's no easy task.
I kind of think like there's people that are like watching MMA and then they tune into this and they're so hooked on the MMA outcome, waiting for the knockout, and then they forget, oh wait, this is the Olympics. And then there's the purists that are in the sport that know the rules. The other guys are going, yeah, you got him. And then this guy's like, I win a medal by knockout. That's kind of controversial.
Yeah, the thing is, this one, in all honesty, was I think this was a very tough call for the judges, because if you watch it, he didn't go through the kick. He hit the kick and back. He went bah, bah, and back. So he didn't look like he wanted to go through it. But regardless, he knocked him out. So they had their ruling, and they ruled that it was excessive contact. Therefore, if you're following the rules, excessive contact disqualification, because the other person couldn't continue. I've seen these events way back 30-something years ago when I was watching a tournament, and there was this guy named Satch Williams. He was going up against Billy Blanks, and Satch went in there. He was one of the best point fighters in Northern California, and actually one of the best point fighters, period. And he went up against the number one point fighter, Billy Blanks, and everybody knows him from the Taibo and all that things that he did. Well, anyways, Satch reverse punch Billy Blanks, knocked him out. He was literally laid out. And they waited for Billy. They woke his butt up, and they continued with the thing. They took the penalty against Satch because it's excessive contact, but Billy was able to continue, and Billy won the decision because he outpointed the Satch. But in my eyes, when I watched that, I went, well, you just got knocked out, and you come back, and you win. But that's when my mind was like, well, wait a minute. Yeah, this is non-contact. So it was excessive contact. So it is what it is. That's why it's like they're boring. I don't like them. It's like,
wait, you fought in full contact later. That's your professional kickboxing was in pro contact. And I knew the guys. I told you I knew the guy, Satch. Well, I knew of him. And his school was hardcore, knock a guy out. And a lot of these other schools were more like, let's stick to the point system. So maybe you don't know who you're up against sometimes, I guess.
Well, some guys are out there to make really hard contact on you, and other guys are. Well, the way I knew the Crazy Dragon guys, the Satch and all those guys, is they were out for points. They were good point fighters, and they were really good. So for me, I don't know. I mean, I thought Satch was out there playing the game. I didn't think Satch was out there trying to hurt Billy. He just did.
Just had power. I mean, I've been by that dojo, that brand of martial arts, and I'd see guys leave blood on the mat. They're no longer, but I made friends with a few of them, but that was just their style. I'm not critiquing, just saying that was their style. Then you'd go another school and everybody has so much protective gear. It's the opposite, right? But then you enter the same tournament. It's like alligator versus cat. I don't know. It's kind of funny. I've got some more stuff here. Let me see what I can share with you, Hav. We were talking about the DC and Conor controversy, right?
Yeah.
That's been going on. I mean, Conor tweets something and then he deletes something and he just keeps trolling or just showing anger or just, I don't know, maybe he's having a couple too many he's throwing back and there he goes, So, I don't know. What did you think about it?
It's get your name out in the spotlight. Didn't like what DC said, then he probably didn't like what I said either. And it is what it is. He doesn't seem to respond too well to negative criticism on him. But if you're responding to negative criticism, why you create more negativity? I mean, wouldn't you want to be positive with what you have, with the platform he has, rather than create negative? But he whatever. He knows what he wants to do, and let him do what he's doing. I'm not a fan, and I'll never watch him fight again. So, yeah, he is what he is.
That's how he got big. But now it's the poison side. You can only use the same hammer for the same job so many times, and then everybody's tired of what you're doing, I guess.
I
Not
lost
everybody.
respect. I lost respect in all aspects, so I don't really. I don't. We can talk about it because we're moving on. And I mean, he's still the number one guy, but whatever. I as a fan, I'm no longer on the wagon. I liking him. I never really liked him because of what he did to family and stuff, and because I'm a Khabib side. Let's face it, But regardless, that last comment about COVID was the last straw for me, and I'm no longer going to ever watch that guy. I could care less,
Right.
because this is
Personal.
it's entertainment. It's the sport is the hurt game, but it's entertainment. It's to take us away from all the realities of life, right? And you bring it right back in the middle, and we talk about it because it's the subject that's hot, right? But doesn't mean we have to accept it. I don't accept it, and I may talk about that fire, but it doesn't mean I have to like the fire, because the fire causes what? It causes damage, it hurts people and families, and the whole bit, So it's kind of like that, You don't want to talk about the fire, but the fire's there, and it's burning half your village or all your village, et cetera, et cetera. So I guess from that perspective, that's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, but you come from a traditional, honorable martial arts background, and then there's people that get into fighting, and it's about anger and street. But you came from it like the old school, as I understand. I'm not speaking on your behalf, but I'm right about that, right?
Correct.
And then you teach your students. It's like, and then all of Habib's guys, as dangerous as they may be, they're about humility and respect their elders and toe the line. I mean, they're very, very disciplined people. So that's why it's nice to be around you guys. It's very interesting.
They're super disciplined, but if you break that that code of respect, and then it's it's a fight, and they're not new to fighting. They've been doing it their whole lives.
It's go time. It's go time. They'll just like, okay, I'm always cool, but you hit the on button, back off because it's on now.
Yeah,
There's no warm up. There's no warm up. I'm going to show you. No, it's just on. And yeah, they're fierce. They respect. They have honor about where they're from, their families, and their elders, and just respect the people in general. In the cage, though, that's a competition. I mean, basically, their whole thing is about humility.
Well, in the cage or in the street, if you break the rules and the code and of what they feel is right, then you have a fight. I don't advocate fighting on the street, and even with them, I always strive to tell them that you're a professional. Any fighting you have to do, you do in the cage. That's what you do, because you got to understand, every one of those guys is a professional. There's somebody looking up to them, somebody that's looking that wants to be like them, and you're out there fighting on the street that doesn't project a good image. So you want to project the best image, because this is a sport, as much as most of us don't think it is, because the way things happen, it's still a sport.
Yeah, it gets built up. On a lighter note, your haircut's been becoming a big thing lately. And I didn't play the video because I didn't want to take from the Khabib TV, but you guys can find it on the Khabib Nurmagomedov. Apparently, like you said, that Khabib would make a comeback at you for the haircut. You get the first word in, and like, why are you shaming me for a haircut? And everybody saw your haircut. And then this extended video, I mean, Khabib has come, he's definitely going for it in this one. I don't know if you've seen it. It's on Facebook.
No. He got me?
Yeah.
Oh, he posted it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, nice guy. I see. Okay. Like he says, okay, coach. Like I said, okay, Khabib. Haircut time, okay.
Your haircut has become news in multiple streams.
Unfortunately, there is really nothing I can do against him, because he dwarfs me as far as followers, and as far as social media presence, and as far as who he is. So really, even though I may be in the right, that's probably a battle I better just kind of just Hey, I'm your coach. Leave me alone, because I can't win that one. There's nothing I can do to win the words of the haircut. So we'll have to give it that. We'll have to give it to him because if he don't like my haircut, okay, my haircut sucks. he wins. How can I win? Think about it. How can I win?
He's got a 28 milliwatt subscriber following on Instagram.
Yeah,
Forget about it.
Yeah. He's probably got worldwide. He's probably got over 100 easily. He probably has forget about it. It's not even. I'm not even touching the water with what I have compared to what he has. Not even close.
I'm going to go over some of the fights with you, Hav. I'm going to post them up here. Can you see these guys? This is the UFC happening this weekend.
Yep.
Parker Porter, I don't know much about him, and Chase Sherman, I've seen him fight a few times. I guess he's up and coming. Do you know anything about either of these heavyweights?
The Parker Porter, I don't know much about. Chase Sherman, I do. He's more of a journeyman type guy. He's still trying to get his craft down, but I'll still say Chase is still somewhat of a journeyman. Potentially could get out of that status, but without even knowing who Parker Porter is, I would say Parker Porter is probably the favorite and probably the guy they're looking to pass the next stage, of gatekeeper. And not that Chase is a gatekeeper, but kind of he might be. Clay Guida versus Mark Madsen. Anytime you fight Clay Guida, you better be active because he's going to be active all the way through. And, Clay's just fun fight to watch. Fun guy. I'm sure a lot of fighters would love to fight him because he's a fun guy to have.
Game. Very game.
Very game and very fun guy to go against because you can execute your techniques all day long. He'll stand with you. He'll go on the ground with you. Clay will do it all. And he's a veteran of, how many fights? He's been around 20-something years, I think. I could be wrong, but I think he's been around a long time.
Yeah, he's been through multiple generations of the UFC. Let's say a generation is 5 years in UFC years, right?
Yeah, I think so. He's been fighting at least 2 decades, so he's got a wealth of experience and he's fun to watch. I never really watched Clay Guida fight that I didn't like, so I'm assuming win or lose, this will be a fun fight to watch again. Jared and Kevin Gastelum. Man, Jared's got some freaky power. Nothing super impressive about him other than he's good everywhere and he's got good power. And I see this as a tough fight for Kevin. I think Kevin he's got to fight, man. Gastelum's got to fight. This is a really tough fight for Gastelum. Because, man,
he was cruising to the top, and then he was on his way. He was beating legends.
He was. But now it's the back. I don't know, man. He's a tough guy. He's a tough customer. That's a tough fight for him to try to mount the comeback on. I don't know. Jared just might be too much, I think. Let's see what happens, but he just might be a little too much. But we'll see.
Well, Mark Madsen is supposed to be good. At least our comments are telling us so. I mean, to think about it, Hav and I try to remember from a pool of maybe 800 plus fighters in the world, and we only know the top maybe 30-40% in the legends, pretty much. Depends. Less now, right?
So with all the fighters that are coming out here, it's like, Parker Porter, I never heard of him.
Right?
Never heard of him. I'm just never heard of him.
Maybe
that's just how much MMA, yeah.
Maybe he will leave a highlight knockout or something we're not expecting, though. And that's the way the game flows, right? That's what I'm seeing. So let me see what else I got. I got the other card. PFL, they're fighting for $1 million, and they're going for the brackets. And there's a very interesting matchup happening today after we get off the podcast. Let me see. Okay, let me find this one. I'm going to get the PFL card. Let's go here. Windows and PFL. Where are you guys? Okay, if I pull up Bellator by accident, I'm wrong. Okay, let's see. What do I have here? Okay, here's PFL. We've got the top of the card, Rory McDonald. Former GSP anointed him to take his place. It never happened, but he's done great his whole career. He's had some really rough battles. He just left Bellator. He figures probably, not speaking for him, hey, this is a quick way to $1 million. I got game. But Ray Cooper is a knockout artist. Have you seen him fight?
Yeah, quite a few times.
He's a hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, he beat a lot of guys, just like takedown artists, whatever, because, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's his stance. He's kind of low to the ground. He gets in that overhand right. Makes me think of your coach Pops, you know, the Hawaiian punch. You know what I mean? What do you think about that fight? Which way could this go?
I mean, obviously, you know, Rory McDonald's world class. He's fought just about everybody. I don't know, man. He might have slowed down a little bit from where he was at his prime. And Ray Brother Cooper, he's on the rise in confidence and man, it's a fight that I think favors Cooper. You know, only because Rory has he hasn't been the killer that we've all expected him to be, and for whatever reason, he hasn't found his groove, or maybe he lost his groove completely. He'll never find it again. I don't know. That's an interesting fight. So if you can't keep Cooper off of you, he's going to take you out. So he better make it a fight, because Ray Cooper's coming to fight. He always comes to fight, you know, and you take him out or he takes you out. That's just the way he is, you know. So yeah, Ray he's a bad man.
The second fight too, Magomed Kirimov, I hope I said his name correctly, versus Sadibu Sai, I think that's how you pronounce it. You know, different languages, so I don't want to mispronounce anybody's thing. But are you familiar with Magomed? Because you know a lot of the Dagestanis, but then now there's so many, I don't assume you know them all, because there's also Zabit's camp, you know, Habib's camp.
Yeah,
right?
Tiger, isn't it? We call him Tiger. He was training with us in Vegas. He's very, very acrobatic. He's a big time risk taker. He's fun as hell to watch. He'll do so many different things that you won't expect. That you know, expect him to be, you know, he's just fun to watch. Fun to watch.
So that should be an exciting fight. People are gonna enjoy this one.
Oh no, I got the wrong guy. Sorry.
Oops.
Wrong guy. No, wrong guy. Whoa! You messed me up when you said Bellator. Wrong guy. Not same guy. No, Tiger fights for Bellator. Sorry, wrong guy.
We mixed it up.
Magomed, I can't see the picture on here because the last name covers his face, so I don't really know. I might know him if I see him more, but anyways, yeah, I'll have no comment on this one because yeah, no, that was wrong. Bad me.
It's okay. We can make mistakes live, everybody, and that's our thing.
Yeah, well, I screwed up on that one pretty good.
Yeah, but listen, we're learning to live stream, and it's like, okay, from the pre-recorded, I can go back and edit. I'll take that out. Oh, you said that.
Fans can see that, right? You blocked his face.
Well,
Not a
not on
good picture.
purpose.
That's not a good picture. I can't recognize him. I'm thinking I know who he is, and if I think I know what camp is he from? Is he from Zabit's camp? Do you know?
Let me double check. I'll tell you.
If he's from Zabit's camp, then he's still like Tiger. Then they do all kinds of cool stuff, you know. So he's right in that category. Then that's okay. He'll do it.
It's not me that blocked it. Apparently, where I was pulling this from, yeah, he's from Dagestan, and I'm going to pull him up again, see if you can recognize him. So, you know, this is a live chat, guys. Not rushing to get the recording over like we normally do. You know, and then we're going to get to your questions, which is going to be fun for us, as long as they're nice. You know, can't guarantee it. Had some interesting questions last couple of days, Hav. Let me look for this and share this other screen. Just like getting used to the software. That's all it is. I'm enjoying the new. If you guys let us know how's the transmission. Totally upgraded the internet and the audio and everything that we can to make this better. So I'm going to find this guy, and you tell me if you recognize him. Where did he go? Window. I got to pull him up. Be just 1 second. Yeah. So how was training today, Hav?
It was okay. All right.
Who's training at the gym right now? I heard some guy come looking for the fighters when we're on the phone. I'm like, he's not here.
Sean Bunch was sparring with Mark Climaco, and they're both fighting at the UAE Warriors in Abu Dhabi, September 3rd and 4th. They have a 2-day show. So we're I'm sorry, Sean Bunch is going to fight in Abu Dhabi. Mark Clamaco is fighting in Miami, I believe, September 10th or 17th up in Miami at Combate. Oh, yes, Magomed. Okay, yeah. He's really good. Yeah, very, very good. Magomed. I would probably pick him to be the one of the likely champions. He's probably going to win the tournament again. He won it, I think, either last year or the year before.
Is he with Khabib or is he? Well, he's from Hot.
No. He's not. He's not with Khabib's crew, but he is kind of with them, but not really. Like he's not. I'm not his coach, so he's not with them. But they're friends. They're very good friends. They've trained together. We trained with him before. He's very, very good. Very good. I thought he was a small guy. Tiger is a small guy. Tiger's a 135er.
Well, now I'm going to bounce to Bellator, and it's interesting when you get three, not a major tentpole event, but you get some interesting fights. That's the best way for us to go over it, because if we talked about one and not the other, then people are like, why didn't you talk about it? So I guess with the live streaming,
there's Tiger right there.
This guy at the bottom, right?
That's Tiger, yes.
So he's fighting Ralphian Stotts. So he's going to be exciting to watch on Bellator, huh?
Yeah, Tiger's fun to watch. He's one of the better fighters in Bellator. Expect big things from him. He's fun to watch. Andre's really fun to watch. I don't know Sabah. I don't know him. But I'm sure if he's fighting Andre, he's probably really good. If he's fighting Korshkov, so he's probably really good.
Korshkov's a beast. He is a beast.
Yeah, hardcore, but what do you know about the other guy? I don't know anything about the other guy.
I don't know much about Sabah, so he must be the new guy that's been up and coming. It's like the new guy, finally when you get the big name, now we know who you are. It's kind of like you need to get to a certain level, right? And fighting Korshkov, yeah.
Well, it all depends, or if you happen to have been watching the show and some of it remembers, but we have so much MMA that a lot of us just ignore it and we wait for the main card unless someone strikes out. But I generally try to watch every single fight, but unfortunately, I'm missing a lot of fights that I normally never used to. I used to watch every MMA fight. Now, no, I don't watch every fight. The Mousasi versus John Slater.
Salter.
That's Salter.
Yeah.
So that's that, not Slater. Salter. Yeah. John Salter. He's kind of like a grinder type wrestler type guy, and if he can implement his will on Mousasi, which I don't know if he can, it's gonna be a long night for him, man. Long night, and a motivated Mousasi, I think, probably beats everybody in that middleweight division and Bellator. I say motivated because I've seen him not do what he could do, and I've seen him just blazing hot. So it depends on what we see, but either way, I still see Mousasi being just a little bit too much on the striking, and if Salter can't take him down, and impose his will there, I see it being a very long night for him.
Mousasi is a gentleman. I've interviewed him a couple of times. He is a super cool dude, but he's beat so many big stars, and he's so unassuming when you meet him because he's just a humble gentleman. You wouldn't know that there's a cyclone of MMA fury behind this guy, and he can just show up and win. It seems to me, he's doing it for so long. 47 fights.
Yeah, he's been out a long time, and he's really good. Like I said, he's either blazing hot or just hot. But either way, he's a tough guy to do anything to. And only people that only seem to have beat Mousasi has been the best of the best. Salter, I don't know. Let's see, right? I mean,
maybe he's got the key.
Maybe, I don't think so, but hell, I don't know. I'm just a fan, really. I'm not no expert with these guys. A fan can go Javier, la 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 la, and all of a sudden, I could disagree with that fan or that other person, and turns out they're 100% right. I'm 100% wrong. When it comes to my guys, I'm pretty much 99.9%. But when it comes to other people, no. Just look at me when I critique other people as I'm giving you my opinion, and my opinion doesn't mean jack. Doesn't mean they're going to win. Doesn't mean you should vote for them because I vote for them. It just means what I think and who I think might win. but realistically, do not go on what I say, and especially if you're a person that puts bets out there, don't put your money out there on what I say on people I don't know.
You could win, but you could also lose.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of risky to put yourself in that situation.
We put that post out there about when people started watching the UFC, basically MMA, and what got them into it. I thought this would be interesting because when I read it, I go, "Oh, gives me flashbacks." Let's see where you might have been during these times. This is just a new little way of doing something I'm adding here. Let's see if I can get this, and then we'll go into fan questions, guys. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go here, and we're in. Can you see these, Hav?
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone was telling us, like, when did you get into watching the UFC? And so 9% have been there since 1993. And that means those are lifers. And the first time was the Ultimate Fighter reality show, which you remember kind of launched the UFC.
Yeah.
And even before I go even more forward with that, I have a question with you. When they had that fight between Bonner and the other guy, shoot, my memory.
Forrest Griffin.
Okay. Now, that fight, you had fighters. Did you notice the difference, like the demand for your fighters, more people coming up? Did you notice an instant change in the industry, being a coach, having a bunch of fighters, UFC looking for more people because they could have more events, or what happened from that? Did you notice some kind of change in the world of MMA when that happened?
Well, yeah. When the main event, after the main event was such an incredible fight, everybody was talking about it, and things started changing drastically. And that's when the Ultimate Fighter, in my opinion, is what saved the UFC from total destruction and just disappearing from the face of the earth, and MMA being just scattered here, scattered there. But that main event between Forrest and Bonner was so darn good that it created all the momentum the UFC needed to continue to branch out and create the dynasty that they have. So the Ultimate Fighter, that main event, that was the one. I had 3 fighters in that one. I had Bobby Southworth, Mike Swick, and Josh Koscheck.
Wow.
We had 3, and then we had John Fitch. John Fitch was also accepted to participate in the Ultimate Fighter the first season between Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture. But when John was in the airport, they kindly, professional as they were, reminded him that, you're no longer going to be needed, but your luggage is already on the way to Vegas, but unfortunately you won't be accompanying your luggage. So,
wow.
Yeah, John was supposed to be in the Ultimate Fighter too, so we would have had four fighters in the Ultimate Fighter.
And that was the beginning. I mean,
First
I don't
one.
know when you felt, because what it was mainstream. Like some of the comments, and I'm going to be doing a cool video about everybody's comments on that. I can't really talk about it. It's going to be pretty cool, but some guys like, well, I remember going to Blockbuster Video. I don't know if you ever rented the older tapes just to get some tape on somebody for a fight. Did you ever end up having to do that?
No, I never.
Okay,
did that.
You're in the business. So me, the fan guy, I'm going to go buy these tapes. But when you bought UFC, if you didn't catch the pay-per-view, you would be in the video store, and you go over and it's next to alligator hunters and monster trucks. And the event was recorded, but you couldn't go buy a pre-recorded basketball game from the NBA or a pre-recorded World Series usually, unless it's a documentary story. So it wasn't mainstream, and what that did, it put it to TV, and then that changed the dynamic of the whole sport. And then, bam, the UFC took off, and Dana and the Fertittas were doing great. I noticed it. I was around when that happened. So now, 2 of those guys that you had on there, they both have podcasts. That's what happened. John Fitch and Mike Swick.
Mike Swick, yeah, I'm on Mike Swick's podcast quite a bit. Well, actually, not quite a bit, but he splits up our interviews into so many segments that it looks like I'm on a lot. But I probably, out of all the guests, I'm the number one. I think I'm number one as far as many people that have been on his podcast, and then I think Dana White has been up there quite a bit too. I think Dana and I probably share the top spots being on Mike Swick's podcast. I mean, it wouldn't happen to be that Mike Swick's one of my best friends. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it might.
It might. It's the cheat code. I was going to put this back up here and let us go over what my train of thought on this. But when people say, okay, since the McGregor era, when Nate Diaz called out McGregor, after that I pretty much watched everything I can get my hands on, and I'm a fan of Khabib now. Oh, so this is how people came to sport. After 229, Coach, I spread it everywhere, in the world because 229 was more than a fight. And started watching when COVID started, became a fan of Khabib, watched everything I could because it made me happy. That's nice to hear. What a human. I'm glad he's still around helping you guys. So, yeah, that is cool that you guys are still working together. I mean, how's that feel to have Coach Khabib with Coach Javier? The student becomes the coach with you.
Well, he's becoming the coach with me, and he's going to be the bigger coach at one point or another because he has more love and more passion to watch the guys and make sure they're doing things than I do. I mean, I'm kind of the burning light that's burning bright, but it's dimming. He's burning brighter than ever, and he's such an unbelievable coach that I wouldn't doubt. Soon people call him the greatest coach of all time too. Becoming the GOAT to the greatest coach of all time. I can 100% see Khabib being that person because, his love for his guys, his love for training. And, still to this day, Khabib, people may not realize that, but Khabib right now, still, if you ask me, can Khabib beat who and who right now? I said he could beat them all right now still. Khabib just get ready to go. I say, hey, if he wanted to fight next week, he can fight next week. I mean, he's in shape all the time. That's something that I get privileged to see. And the only thing that's different about Khabib now than before is before no one can win a round except Islam here and there. Now he lets the guys win a lot. He lets them when he spars with them. He lets them win so they can get better. But before, when he was fighting, you are not getting it. You're getting your ass whooped, or you're getting handled properly. Not whooped on, but you definitely know you were being handled. The only challenge, the super challenge, was always Islam. Islam was always the super challenge for Khabib. But to this day, right now, like I said, he could still reign over everybody if that's what he wanted to do. But I seriously doubt he would ever decide to do anything other than what he's doing now. He loves coaching. He loves promoting Eagle Fighting Championships. He's gone all over the world with it. He just went to Kyrgyzstan, I believe, or one of the Stan countries, and he had over, I think he had 10,000 people come watch. He met the prime minister of that country, and hey man, he's on the rise, huge. Eagles Fighting Championship is becoming a very prominent, European league and even the Middle East promotion. Fantastic, and I don't see him changing what he's doing. I don't see him deciding that I'm on a big money fight or anything like that. I just see him continuing doing what he's doing, being involved in business ventures that he gets offered all the time. I mean, his brand is gold, so anybody gets attached to him, it's a great thing. Look at us, our podcast. Our podcast
Yep.
is doing fantastic.
Thank you, Khabib.
As a podcast because of Khabib, straight up.
Right.
Straight up, we get a lot of fans coming on board because I'm his coach and I'm still active with him, and people want to hear inside scoop on Khabib and all the fighters because no one else as a coach has that, and I do. So, and I realize that, that the fans are coming to hear things about who's the next guy from Eagles MMA. I mean, most of the people that ask questions here, true or not, they're not asking much about my present AKA guys. They're asking about Khabib's crew.
We do have one question that I'll bring up in a minute for you. Yeah. We do have one.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the vast majority of our comments are towards, Usman or Islam or Zubaira or Umar, or anybody new from Khabib team, who's next, and that's going to be this way for many years to come because I'm not planning on leaving Khabib anytime soon. I guess the day I leave is the day I get buried, when I'm no longer a coach with him, I don't see him not coaching either. I don't. I see him coaching forever, like As long as I'm going to be alive, he'll be coaching because he's going to be with me.
There's no retiring from coaching. You're coach to the end. Your own
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah.
Pops?
Yeah. My pops, Walter Colorado. Yeah, he coached to the end, 82 years of age. You know, he coached to the end. Well, you did. That's where I met you in the when you did the thing on
I
him.
was filming a documentary on him, and that's how I learned to meet you. And I was like, I
Yeah.
got to go meet Javier. He sounds amazing because Pops keeps talking about this guy. And I'm like, there was flashes. People would mention your name all over the Bay Area. I'm like, yeah. And I went to your gym early when we had our gym and we had our, social media channel that filmed and did YouTube 16 years ago, before there was much MMA on there. I mean, shoot, the internet was slow. No one had smartphones. They'd have to go home and log in and watch some YouTube videos. But yeah, it's interesting because that's probably your journey. I don't think coaches ever stop. I think coaches go. What are you going to do? You wouldn't know how to retire, to be honest.
No, because there's always going to be someone always emailing me or calling me, and I get tons of emails now, and I just can't get to everybody, man. It's hard. I miss the vast majority of the people, and it's the same old question, So people that ask the question, I want to be a champion, I want to do this. Well, if you want to be a champion in MMA and you have no MMA experience, then you should 100% take this to heart. Start, no matter what you do before MMA career, start with BJJ, Sambo, or wrestling. Have an extensive background in any one of those three, and the rest will come to you. That is going to be your biggest edge to entering MMA because you really want to have one of those three. It's a grappling background. You need to have it, and if you're going to pick one, if you got to pick one of all of them, I would say BJJ. We want Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You really want Jiu-Jitsu. You want Jiu-Jitsu. That's number one because number one, Jiu-Jitsu to me is the best self-defense in the world. I think if you're going to take one art for self-defense, it's Jiu-Jitsu. Even though I'm a striker, I never done Jiu-Jitsu, but I'm not stupid. I see what goes on there, and I see what's the most effective in unarmed. No weapons. If you're talking weapons, then you don't really want to be on the ground when you're talking with weapons. But unarmed weapons, it's Jiu-Jitsu. And being the case, let's say a Jiu-Jitsu guy, he goes up, very proficient Jiu-Jitsu guy goes up against a wrestler, just pure wrestler. And the wrestler takes the jiu-jitsu guy down, yeah, but what is he going to do with him? He ain't going to do very much. He's going to get submitted, So that's why I'm always favoring, if you're going to take one art, take jiu-jitsu. But now check this out, though. There's the flip side now. Now, if I'm going to build an MMA fighter, I will want the guy that's the more proficient wrestler because you can teach him the jiu-jitsu, but wrestling is a little harder to get to, So the wrestler is the guy who can dictate where the fight goes and teach him jiu-jitsu and teach him, etc. Then the wrestler's going to do well. But if we're talking just one single art, I strongly go with jiu-jitsu. But if you're talking MMA career, then you're going to have to do jiu-jitsu no matter what.
Right.
But I would take a really strong base in wrestler. Like, for instance, like Khabib's wrestling Sambo base was incredibly strong. His father already put everything that he needed on the ground. I didn't do anything to Khabib on the ground. All I did was I showed Khabib entries, how to think smart, But a lot of what Khabib got was from his father. I would say 90% or higher of who Khabib is all his father. And all the fighters that I get the credit for, I would say the same. I come in and, I'm the guy that comes in, the house is ready made, the foundation's done, beautiful this, beautiful that. And I just add, why don't you add a little star here? Or, hey, add the color, this color here to the window shades. And all of a sudden I'm the guy that's like, get told, well, look what Javier Mendes has done. Well, no, someone did that before I got there. I just come in and I just got your attention to it a little bit more. But that foundation was already laid down way before I even got there.
Well, I'd have to say this just from a observational standpoint, as the guy that's been around watching you for a couple of years. I would say that's true, but also there's something else that you bring, because if what you brought was worthless, the consistency would be dead. There's a value to it. There's an extreme value to what you do. Even if it's the 10%, it might be the 10% that makes the difference. And they could probably have a 90% chance of accomplishing what they're doing. But that's what I see, the mindset And there's just something there. There's a recipe, and maybe it's not spoken out or planned out on a piece of paper, written in a journal.
That's correct. That's correct. And no, but I'm a great interior designer, I guess you could say. I have a great eye for what's attractive. So right. that we can say about me. I'm not the greatest pad holder, this and that, but what I am really good at is picking out your bad points, what you need to work on, how you need to work on it, who do you need to work with it, that type of thing. I am really, really good at that. But build you from scratch, that's going to be tougher unless you have a strong base in jiu-jitsu or wrestling. And if you're a strong base in striking, it's going to be a lot more difficult to get you to that pinnacle. It's not impossible whatsoever, but it's just harder.
Well, you have the algorithm, you have the vision. There's a certain thing that makes a coach great. What you do, I'll throw my dad in there. My dad had the winningest basketball team. He was 5'9". He could not slam dunk a basketball, but his players could dunk the hell of the basketball because he got them to where they could and get around the offense. So, yeah, that's what it was. So that's another analogy,
Well, another great analogy for those that want to know, look at Carolyn Wester. She's a badass wrestling coach. Watch her. If anybody, you can pull her up or anything there, Len, can you pull up Carolyn Wester?
I can look for her.
Yeah,
let me pull her up.
Wrestling prep.
I'll pull her up, but I'm going to leave you with a fan question while I go do that research, so we're not just staring at you guys. So I'm going to give you a fan question here, Hav. This is from Twins Rabadi. Hey, you're asking about somebody not from Khabib's crew, but
Kyle Crutchmer.
Part of it, right? So tell him a little bit about him. I'll look.
He's incredibly disciplined, incredibly loyal. Hardworking, really hardworking, listens to his coaches, expect great things from him, as his path continues to grow. He's a prospect. He's a blue chip prospect for sure. Expect him to continue to rise. He's a great addition to Bellator.
He's got a lot of wrestling background too, right?
Yes, he wrestled for Oklahoma. I think same as DC. That's where he came here because I believe from DC. He is through and through very disciplined, through and through hard worker, through and through dedicated, knows what he needs to do, and he's going to attain it. He's got the mindset. I work with him mostly on the mind now. I used to work with him on everything, but since I've been the COVID situation, kind of led me in another direction, and I've been gone a lot. So he needs someone that's consistent. So he's got other coaches that work him there that are really good.
DC too, right?
DC. Yeah. DC, he's got Ron Kessler. He has a lot of people to help him. But the guy's good. And if he stays on track, expect great things from him.
Well, here's Carolyn, and there she is down there.
Yes,
you guys training. Now she's like the human algorithm.
Yeah,
math, right? She knows math.
She didn't wrestle. She didn't wrestle, but you go look at all her kids, and you go to wrestling prep, and you look and see what she does and how her kids do the acrobatic maneuvers that they do while they're drilling, and then they go out and wrestle, and they're killing everybody. Don't go telling me she can't teach wrestling. She's a phenom.
And it's about numbers with her, right? It's like a numbers thing.
It's not, it's a building block. She builds a great foundation. She knows where the foundation needs to be built, where it needs to be straightened out, and she has unique ways of getting there. Very unique. I've never seen anybody do it like she does. But like the person that she has there is Alejandro Perez. She taught him wrestling like no other I've never seen. Like, she got Alejandro so good that I don't even care if Alejandro's going with a D1 wrestler. He can handle it, no problem. Before that was a major problem. But since he's been with her, all that time spent with Carolyn, no problem. I have no problem with Alejandro and anybody wrestling him. No problem.
Yeah, as a coach, you can see what somebody has. That's pretty impressive. Let's get to another question here on the fans. Okay. Nornas, salam alaikum, coach. How do you rate the grappling wrestling from Zubaira Tukhugovs? Zubaira,
that's the one thing that's made him good. Is his grappling. That's where he's at. So the areas where he needs more work on is the mental discipline and the cardio, and that's something that Coach Khabib has taken upon himself to drill. So the next time you guys see Zubaira, hopefully we'll see a much improved, better condition Zubaira that's going to go out there and prove that he can belong and fight for that title. And I believe he can. But, let's see what happens. Hopefully he'll get a fight soon. We're trying to get him booked soon. He's preparing now for a fight. So we're trying. Hopefully we can get him on Abu Dhabi. If not, we'll see. But we're trying to, not we, because I'm not the manager, but I'm sure they're trying to get him on. But Khabib is taking a big special interest in him and pushing him. During the time I was with Khabib, he was making Zubaira do extra things, and like I said, Khabib is a great coach and he's a great human being that loves his guys, and he just wants the best for those guys.
We'll get another question here. Coach, I'm taking a guess, but I see the long-term plan for Usman is to get him in line for the lightweight belt after Islam's reign as champ in the UFC. Am I on the right track? That's interesting. I could see how you came up with that, but go ahead, Doug.
I can see how they would think that, but Bellator takes so good care of him. But we don't know where Bellator is going to be by the time that time comes, and you may never see, him be more than a Bellator fighter. Now, if they can eventually cross over and fight Bellator versus UFC, Bellator versus one, then you may see that kind of crossover. But I don't foresee anything of that nature because I don't look at Bellator as a stepping stone to anybody. Stepping stone, it would mean someone much lower level than Bellator. Bellator is a legit company that's got great things going. Scott Coker, as you know, is one of my best friends, and he's done a phenomenal job. And I don't see these guys using Bellator as a stepping stone for anybody. No, I see Usman as a Bellator fighter, and I do see him as a Bellator star.
Yeah, and he could have a great career just there, even if he never did crossover.
He don't have to cross over. Bellator take care of him. He can make millions of dollars with Bellator. Bellator can pay.
Yeah, and it's cool. Now you have two different shows to watch for all you fans. Like, okay, I'll watch this Bellator card. This looks good. Curious to see what happens later today. I'm going to go back to you here, Jav. So we get a coach from Cap for Life. Coach, your thoughts on Luke Rockhold's upcoming match?
You know what? I haven't seen Strickland. I haven't seen that guy, so I don't really know.
Grinder. He's a grinder. Yeah.
Man, he could be in trouble with Luke. I don't know though. I don't know. And I don't train Luke. I haven't trained Luke in over 3 years, so. Luke's still my boy, and of course I can't root against Luke no matter who it is. So, but I don't know. I can't make comments on Strickland because I haven't seen the guy fight. Yeah, it's bad. I haven't seen the fight.
Gonna catch up. Too many cards at once. Wonka, Coach and Len, did you hear Kevin Holland talking smack about AK on the Schmo? I didn't think it was smack.
It wasn't smack. He said, "Hey, if I do something good, don't give credit to AKA." And I'm like telling myself, I don't want credit for things that we don't do. I never even met the guy. He was here one time. He didn't wrestle here. He wrestled with DC as crew up in the high school kids up in Gilroy. And from what he says, and everybody says that the high school kids whooped his butt really bad in wrestling. So he obviously has a long way to go in wrestling. And now he's with Johnny Hendricks, which is a legit wrestler. So hopefully he sticks with Johnny and he can improve, because if he doesn't improve the big giant hole he has, then he's going to have some major problems. And the personality, I've heard him speak. He's got a great personality. He's very likable.
Charismatic.
He's very charismatic. So he needs to fix. And I haven't seen Kevin Holland fight either. That's another thing too. There's another guy who needs to fight.
He's on past your bedtime.
But he's very charismatic and he's very cocky-like. You know what I mean? He's a cocky guy, but you kind of like the
likable, cocky guy.
Yes. I like him. And no, I didn't take it personal what he said. He's just stating a fact, bro. He didn't wrestle here. Don't give AK credit.
Yeah,
So,
if I accidentally win by wrestling and I didn't really do a lot of wrestling or gain any skills there, it makes sense, right?
And I'm used to getting credit for shit I didn't do. So he's correct. He's correct. And no, that was a good call on him to say that, you know. And at the same time too, when he gets if he gets smashed with wrestling, then he can't use us either because he said I didn't wrestle there. Don't. So yes, so it goes both ways.
You're not going to go too far with a 2-week starter kit from AKA.
Anywhere. I don't
care where you go.
You're not going to wrestling overnight. Not going to happen.
I'm going to jail. I need to defend myself. I'm coming to AKA to learn to fight. How long you got? 5 days. Don't even bother. Bother.
Get me.
Mark Davis, hi from Scotland. What's up, Mark? From Scotland, huh?
Scotland Crazy, in the house. AKA in the house. Scotland in the house.
North Africa, Coach.
North Africa in the house. Nice.
And what else we got? Akron, Ohio, in this bitch.
This bitch is in.
Miles Quinn. Okay, let's see. I have to watch the questions. I slowed it down so we didn't get overrun by something crazy.
Islam stylistically matchups fantastic with RDA. I think where the biggest advantage we have in RDA is no secret. Khabib style, the wrestling, which is, I'm sure RDA has not been able to fix that hole that Khabib exposed, for us. But, the guy has power. The guy has a lot of experience. And he's going to be a test. He's not going to be easy. But at the end of the day, if Khabib and I have our way, Islam is going to go right through him because we're going to execute the perfect plan, and Islam's the perfect fighter. Unlike Khabib, I want to point, because Khabib has a habit of not listening to me unless his father was there. If father was there, he would do exactly what father wanted. But when it was just me, he'd break the rules. So Islam has never broken the rules. All the corners I work with Islam, he's done exactly what we wanted him to do. And I expect no different. So I'm expecting we're going to have our way, but it's not going to be easy. Thiago Moses, I told everybody, he was going to be very tough. We have to respect him. And equally so, more so with RDA. He's been a world champion. He's fought a wide variety of multiple great fighters, RDA. So he's a great fighter himself. We have to take him very, very serious. Stylistically, we match up really well. Stand up, we match up well. But I think where we shine is obviously Father's plan. We shine.
Yeah, that's the one right there. This is from Gilson on OK. What drives you to keep coaching after all these years of accomplishments? No retirement in sight. We kind of talked about this earlier, but I like the way they posed the question.
Well, no, they posed it properly because, I don't look at any retirement in sight because after I accomplish something, I'm always looking at what's next. Who do I need to help next? What's the next person? And it's a job, right? I mean, that's what I do. I get paid to coach. I don't get paid to do anything else. I get paid to coach. So I'm working because I'm making money and I love my work.
Yeah, here's another. This isn't a question. Coach, all of Team AKA Nation agrees with you 100%. So whatever you say, it's magic. I love this.
Wonka good. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Let's see if this is a good question. Hey, Coach, Mom doesn't know I have my cell phone. Answer quickly. What do you think about Rita Phogat in one? She has skills. I don't know if you've seen her fight.
I haven't seen her fight. I heard that she's incredible. I look forward to seeing her. I read about her, but I haven't seen her. But if I'm not mistaken, she's a 19-year-old or 17-year-old. I don't know. Glenn, do you know?
I'm not sure. I got to check up on that one.
Yeah, but she won the title, and her brother, or she got a brother in there or a sister in there, or siblings. I don't know, but I have read about her. I didn't read much about her, but I have read about it that she's got incredible skills. I look forward to seeing her, actually.
Here's a heavy, just regular question. Coach, how does a strong man keep his patience when someone insults his mother in front of him? That's an interesting one. Kind of a stifler.
Yeah, you need to relax on that one. And if someone confronts your mother in front of you, you need to talk to that person that he speaks to your mother. He needs to be more polite because you cannot allow someone to disrespect your mother. No. You have to. You don't go with anger, but you have to let him know that, hey, that's your mother, and he's barking up the wrong tree, disrespecting his mother. And yeah, I mean, it's not like you fight right away, but I mean that's a hard one to swallow. I don't think if my mother was still alive and someone disrespected my mother in front of me, I'm not going to just sit for it. I'm not saying I'm going to get physical, but I am saying I will say something 100%. 100%. I'm going to say something, and because you can't let your mother be disrespected. You just can't. You can't.
That was a heavy question, man. That is
a heavy question, but that shouldn't be a hard question for any loyal son that loves his mother. You stand up for your mother. You protect your mother.
Agreed. Okay, Tate Stacy, do you think people would be more fans of Islam if they knew him as a person, and an Islam channel might help pay-per-views?
Yes, I think so. I think so because a lot of people don't know Islam, and if you look at some of our YouTube that we have here, some of the comments about him with the open the mail and getting gifts from fans and talking to me about Coach, this is diet food, and I mean he's really really funny, and a lot of people don't really know his personality and his character, and he needs to do more interviews. My personal opinion. I talked to Khabib and I said, hey Khabib, look, listen, man. I go, you did a lot of interviews, and I think that Islam, when he feels more comfortable, speaking, he should do more interviews because that's what all stars do. You want to be a star, you're not going to be a star not doing interviews. You got to do interviews. You have to be in front of the people. You have to let them know you're here. Here I am. If you otherwise than that, you're going to have to wait for your performance to speak for itself. But that's going to take a lot longer. It's going to take a lot longer. You can watch a fighter fight, and he doesn't speak any English, and you watch him fight, you admire him, but you can't identify with him until he starts speaking your language, and you understand him. Then you go, oh, okay, I can hear. I know what he wants. I know what he's saying. I can identify with that, this and that. So you need to do more interviews for your fans. Yes,
he's a very likable guy, nice guy. If more knew more about him, more would love him, in my opinion.
100%. People would love him. I love him. He's unbelievable. He just needs to be, and I think the UFC hasn't been pushing him as much as they've been lately. So that's another thing too. So it's probably out of his hands, but the UFC hasn't really pushed him the way they're pushing him now. So that's another big one too. So let's not forget that one. I can say what I say, but he'll go, Coach, I'm here. I'm going, yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah, I forgot. The engine's got to push you too. It can't just be you saying, hey, here I am. Come pick me. No, the engine's got to put him on to say, hey, we're going to push this guy. And I think the UFC is starting to push him. So yeah, we're getting more from him.
Interesting side note, when I was with you in Dubai, his friend told me that he and Khabib had different languages from their different parts of town, but they had Russian in common. And
yes.
That's something people might not know. Isn't that crazy?
No, a lot of those guys do. They have different languages in their villages. They're not all the same. Khabib has a different language. Islam doesn't. A few. I think Zubaira might too. Zubaira might have a different language too, outside of them speaking all in Russian. Their village language, and they all told me that. I find it very strange, but understandably, I kind of understand it.
Well, you have Zubaira, Islam, and Khabib. They all have a different language.
From what I've been told, yes.
And is it Umar and Usman? They're the same as Khabib. Like who has the same?
More likely the same because they're cousins. So more likely the same.
Okay. And here's another question. For Magsheed Santina, do you think that Dustin Poirier will retire soon if Dustin fights Islam? Who do you think will win?
I'm not sure about retirement for Dustin because he's doing so good and he's pushing out his charity thing, which is a great cause. If he fights Islam, of course, I feel the only person that has the ability to beat Islam is Khabib. Other than Khabib, no one's going to beat Islam. Just Khabib. Khabib's the only one that I feel and outside of that, anybody can catch you. So anybody could lose with a good shot, one mistake. But on a point wise and out pointing you and out grappling you, only Khabib is the one that can do that. No one else can do that to Islam. No one. So the person that could have, and we will never know because they would never fight anyways. But that's the only person I feel.
Well, we got a juicy one here. I like this one. This one you'll like, I think. MMA Worldwide, Coach, should the UFC implement rules change around trash talking? In terms of what should be said, what shouldn't be said, family, religion, it's only a matter of time before some guys kill each other.
No, I wish they would implement that, but they can't because of the Constitution and all these rules and whatnot. And it should be an unwritten rule for the vast majority of the people. They know not to attack family, religion, country. They know, but some people are just they're not. When they start using those tactics, they're not good people in my opinion. And maybe they're angry when they said it. I don't know, but it should never be said. And do I wish? Yes. Will it happen? I seriously doubt it.
But it then would also devalue the pay-per-views too, unfortunately, because.
Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think it could devalue the pay-per-views. But what I do think, I think that it's encouraged. It's encouraged by the promotions for them to act accordingly. And if I'm not mistaken, they have a rules of conduct. So promotion can actually get rid of you if they deem what you did bad enough. But let's face it, when you're a money cow and the promotion makes huge revenue off of you, you get so many passes because you get revenue, and unfortunately the name of the game is in true sport. The name of the game is entertainment. And who can bring the biggest wad of cash to the table usually gets a lot more than everybody else. A perfect example of someone that's on a good way because he does it correctly as far as I'm concerned. Nate Diaz. And I mean, Nate Diaz, the only person that ever got a 5-round non-title fight in the UFC because
right.
he is a money cow, and so, but he did it correctly. He did it the right way, and. A lot of people can learn from Nate Diaz on how to trash talk and come after the camps, come after coaches, come after the fighters, but those guys are I haven't recall any time or much of it where the Diaz brothers have actually come after religion, country, or anything like that. They go after
specifically the fighter. They keep it on point, on track, right?
The fighter or his entourage, they're I think they do it correctly, personally. That's just my opinion. But I've never heard them go after country, wives, or, family. I think they keep it to, the Diaz brothers will fight anybody, but mostly people that they have a beef with, not people that don't have anything to do with them.
They don't want to fight their parents or the people in the stands. They just want the guy to sign the contract.
And his entourage. It's like, right. Hey, you're with him. Let's go outside, sucker. I mean, that's how they are. They're good at what they do. They're really good because, look, from the last show we watched Nate Diaz. What did he do?
Almost won in the last round.
Show, and he stole the show from everybody, and he didn't win, but he stole the show. He knows how to entertain.
Khabib signed his football contract. Am I right? Is he playing for a team over there, or is he doing some appearances in the?
I have no idea. I never talked to him about it. I read something about it, but I spoke to him yesterday. We didn't discuss that. I don't think it's. He might have, but I don't think it's as big a deal as you might think. Because man, to really be a pro, a legit 24-hour like pro, the Cristiano type, he ain't gonna be able to coach. No way.
Yeah. Let's see. Coach, I've seen a clip of Zabit and Islam. That's respect. They were hanging out, right, over at Bellator?
Yeah, they hang out all the time. They hang out all the time. In
Dagestan.
No, Dagestan. We were with the Zabit crew in Las Vegas. We were with them in Los Angeles at the last Bellator event with them in the group. No, they're all together. They're all together. Right. They don't train together, but they train in the same group at times, but when they go home, they got their camp and Zabit's got his camp. But then when they come to the U.S., Zabit's crew goes to New Jersey and trains with Frankie Edgar's crew and Mark Henry and them, and Khabib comes to me. So but we're friends, really friends. But we're not same camp.
Let's see. Miles Quinn. I personally think Islam will have to mix it up a bit more if he fights Dustin. He won't be able to take him down as easy. Dustin is amazing with boxing. Before Javier says anything, I disagree on the takedown. Boxing-wise, it would be more entertaining. For me, it might not suit Javier's father's plan.
You answered it pretty much.
Did I?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, let's see. This is fun. Nornas. What is the name of Khabib's haircut? I think you called it the Eddie Munster on that.
Eddie Munster. So you should show a picture of Eddie Munster on your screen there so people can get a joke. But those Khabib fans, don't tell Khabib because he'll crush me. He'll crush me. Especially now when you can see my hair starting to fall a little bit here. I'm losing my hair a little bit there.
I'm going to try to get the Eddie Munster haircut. It's not dead on, but it's an interesting variation, Jav.
When Khabib's hair was longer, it looked more like Eddie Munster.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to show you guys the Eddie Munster haircut.
So.
Yeah, you guys were talking. Actually, that's in the video. He does go off on you pretty hard, so maybe a little bit of get back here, a little get back.
Just don't get back to him too much because he'll come back and he'll unload on me with the bazookas.
Let's see what we got. Guys, get ready for Eddie Munster. Some of you know who he is, but this is what Javier describes his haircut as. Uh-oh. I don't know if it's that pointed, Jav.
It's not, but Khabib liked the haircut. Years ago when we first pointed it out, he goes, "Oh, I like the haircut." so he's all about the Eddie Munster.
Let's see. Let me see. Zabit's brother. Looking. Kelvin is the beast. Coach Len, what's up? Warriors, Wonka. What kind of pricing? What you're talking about? I don't know what we were talking about pricing. Let's see. Javier quiero mucho mi hispano para payar. I don't know. I couldn't read that one. Okay.
Oh, just because you couldn't read it, I can't read it?
Okay, fine. Read this out. What did they just say to us?
He says, "Hi, Javier. I care for you very much. You inspire me to fight."
Awesome.
I said, thank you. So why didn't you show it? Just because you couldn't read it?
Oh man, I can read it. Puedo hablar español. No está problema.
Then why didn't
We're going to do the
read
rest of the podcast like this in español. Hello from Helsinki. Love your work, Coach. Thanks for sharing. People are watching you in Helsinki. What the heck? I think it's cool. I love seeing that these people are from all over the world. We're not like our YouTube channel is probably 3% of where you live and 97% everywhere in Europe and Africa and Russia, and it's a nuts. Let's see. Looking. Okay, guys, we're looking for some good questions here. Takes a second. Oh, do you have any Lion's Den stories? Even though you're AKA. Anything you heard secondhand, I guess. I don't know.
No, not really. I mean, I can just, Frank Shamrock was, Ken Shamrock's adopted brother. But honestly, I don't really, Those guys were a great group of guys back in the day. No. I can tell we've been around as long as when they were around, we were around. But obviously they were more famous because it's the Lions Den. But we had, we had our people too. But Lions Den, that with Guy Metzger and all those guys, Trey Telgman, and they had a whole bunch of good fighters, man, whole bunch.
So that's a good question.
Kenny Williams,
What do you think of that one?
Usually the bare knuckle fighting championships. I hate to say it, but it's the recycled championships to me because. Okay, what person so far that you've seen strictly wants to go into bare knuckle fighting championship. It seems like everybody that's already somebody somewhere else in some fighting league is getting recruited after they've been cut or after their negotiations don't work out. They go into bare knuckle fighting, and they flourish there. So that's the afterlife for some fighters that are blood and guts type guys, like, guys that are incredible, like a Hector Lombard who's incredible, people of that nature, that that basically get released, or they're not in a favorable contract situation with the big leagues, but they're still big names. Paige Van Zandt, she's one of the few that wouldn't have been cut, but she comes over to bare knuckle fighting because
huge social media presence.
Yeah, they took care of her better financially, and that's what she wanted to do. But there are some other ones out there that they're in the same boat as her. But for the most part, most of the fighters that come on board with them are people that already been in one form or another, either world boxing champion or professional boxer or kickboxing champion or kickboxing fighter. They're always doing something before they come over to bare knuckle fighting. So that is not their first love, and I think that's what will continue to be that way. I think a lot of the bare knuckle fighting guys are going to be getting a lot of exciting fighters for people that want to watch. I myself haven't really watched much of the bare knuckle fighting, and one of the things that I do know is you can't think that just because you're a champion in MMA, you're going to come into bare knuckle fighting, or you're a boxing champion, come into bare knuckle fighting, and you're going to beat the hell out of those guys. Not going to happen. Their set of rules are different. How they strike, when they strike, where they strike, it's a whole different ball game, and you can't just punch, with the open fist or anything like that nature. You're going to hurt your hand, So there's a lot of things that you better learn about bare knuckle fighting. It's not, it's not like, oh, since I'm a world boxing champion, I'm gonna come and bare knuckle fight and wipe the floor with everybody. All right, go ahead, try it.
Different rules.
Different rules, man, and they're to be respected. But what I'm saying in regards to considering it, I'm just saying the people that are considering it so far have not been guys that want to be fighters. They don't want to be bare knuckle fighters. They want to be UFC fighter. They want to be pro boxer, pro kickboxer. Then they go into bare knuckle.
Some bonus money.
That's what I'm saying. Money. But bare knuckle fighting needs to be respected, and it needs to be respected.
Has anyone asked you to train them for it? Would you have a concept of how to train it for? Because you've been putting your mindset in MMA. I mean, you are
of course I would, but I have no interest in it.
Okay.
I can definitely train you for it, but I'd have no interest in training you for it. I have zero interest in training you for bare knuckle fighting. Look, I train fighters for MMA, and I don't want to train boxers. I don't want to train kickboxers. I train MMA fighters, although I'm not a grappling expert on any level. But I understand what needs to be done. And look, with MMA, you have a team. So I don't know grappling, I find somebody that does. I don't know how to strike, I find somebody that does. My biggest gift has always been my game planning and keeping the team together. But I'm not a great pad holder, this and that. But I'm like I said, I benefited from Khabib's father being one of the greatest coaches of all time, coming in and allowing me to work his fighters, and that's the benefit I got. It was they're already built. I just added my touches to them. They shined the light on them, maybe a little bit brighter.
Right. Well, thanks to Mark Davis. This is live TV at its best. Love it. I like that comment. Now,
Mark Davis knows what's up.
That's our guy. Yeah, Mark Davis wants.
Wait, what's up?
I'm putting it back.
You like that?
Let's go. No. I want to just give him love again. Go ahead.
Connor calling ESPN. Yeah, of course. Of course he would, because
Rumpelstiltskin. I'll huff and puff and blow your house down.
It's like, the boy that cried wolf. That's what I look at it. The boy that cried wolf. And what did DC do? That's a fireable offense. Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. What did he do as a commentator? Absolutely everything great. Commentated fantastic. Says the right words. I mean, and let's face it, I had some choicey words for him that were way worse than DC, but I'm the lowly coach, so I'm not as important. So at one point he's going to come after me, rightfully so. He has he has some shots coming at me because I fired some at him, so he'll fire at me eventually. That's who he is, and I'll take.
Has he ever?
No, he never has, but I never really fired at him, and now I have. So it's only fair that he can fire back at me, and I accept whatever he comes at me with. He'll do his research, but he's not going to have very much. I don't really have much to come at me, and he will do his research. He will come after me.
Hire a private investigator, look for a mean Twitter attack.
Who knows? I mean, he can do it.
I wonder sometimes some of these guys like hire security dudes to get the dirty Twitter.
He comes in with great resources and he does his research. So he'll do his research and he's not going to find very much of anything. So other than my dislike for him. So
Javier likes to have lunch and then go to the gym. We've got him dead to rights. Okay, so apparently earlier when we talked on the card, Magomed Kirimov is from Eagles MMA, the guy that you said would really kick ass, that you mistaken for Tiger earlier.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, he's from Eagles MMA, but I don't know if he's Eagle. I never trained him. I've been around him, but I never trained him. And maybe he is. He could, he's probably right. Mobo 909, I think you're right. You could be right on that because I do watch video and I see him in there. And you know what? I will know 100% come September 10th on up because I'm going to Dagestan to be with all the guys. So I'll know. I'll know everybody that's actually Team Eagle because I'm the head coach, appointed head coach. But reality is the real head coach is Khabib. Right. Even though I could impose my will, but I will never do that. But the real leader is Khabib. But they realize that they respect their elders, and I'm the elder, and I was Khabib's coach, so they'll give me that as the respect, and I mean I'm the head coach, so I can take responsibilities as the head coach. But I see Khabib doing such an unbelievable job. Hey, if you're doing a great job, I'm not stepping in. Let you continue doing a great job, and if there's something I see that needs to be worked on. Then I'll tell you in confidence, hey, Khabib, do this, Khabib, do that, and we have like little simple things like work in the corner. Khabib, I go, you did 100 miles an hour, you doing all the talking, but you didn't let me talk.
Right.
And he goes, oh shoot, sorry, I never do it again. He's never done it again. Now every time you guys watch the corners, he'll talk, then I'll talk, or I'll talk, then he talks. He 100% learns really, really fast.
He is. He's amazing. So, hey, G347, hi, Coach. And George Coker. I wonder if that's... is that a Coker brother? Is it?
No.
Mexican gangster probably is.
No.
Let's see. I'm looking to see. It's been some nice people popping up. Oh, okay. This is Destroyer YT. What kind of fancy car do you drive, Coach?
I don't drive a fancy car. I just drive a Lexus. Not fancy at all. Yeah. And I never will. I'm not a fancy car guy.
Okay, let's see. I have to read these sometimes. Okay, this will be interesting. My favorite book, Bonte Jane Eyre. We've asked questions from you before because you have good questions. Did you read that one or you want me to read it? Go ahead.
Khabib, the only Russian fighter, AK, when he came, if yes, and how did he communicate with the gym and coaches? When he first came here, it was very difficult to communicate with us. First camp, very difficult. We communicate with fists, but as time went on, he learned. Daniel Cormier and him, all the guys banded with Khabib, and they all taught him stuff. Obviously, I'm running the gym, so I can't be focused on Khabib, but every time Khabib came to camp, he got better at speaking English, and it went like that. Like I say the story over many times. I've said, when Khabib first came, I thought he was incredible. I thought this guy could be the best if only he would listen. He just doesn't listen. And later I find out, because he told me himself, that he goes, Coach, when you used to tell me to relax, I didn't know what you meant. I thought you meant go harder, so I would go harder on the guys. And I go, that's what it was. So that's why his father, when I met his father in 2015, his father would come in and say, relax, relax, relax. And it's just the same. We've all said, relax, relax, relax. Because his father thought that was funny too. And so did I when I found out that he didn't know. He misunderstood relax. He thought that meant go harder.
That's funny. So this is just to catch back what we didn't know who Sabah was. It's a teammate of Dustin from ATT. And, Sabah Hamasi, a Lebanese American mixed martial artist.
Cool.
From Reggie Santina. So now we know.
So he's a tough fighter. He's an American top team, tough fighter.
And he's fighting Mousasi. So now we know he's got a team behind him. And another interesting place, Adam Ayad, watching
Barbados. Barbados.
This cracks me up. I'm looking for something. Well, they say Mousasi's going to KO Salter. And I'm looking
that could very well happen, for sure.
I like this. Ding a Ninja, 88. Go ahead.
DC.
DC's the funniest.
Don't even have to think about that one, DC. The next funniest guy, it had to be Khabib. And then after that would have to be Islam.
Wow. So this is great. Take some questions. No, that wasn't the one.
Take some real questions. No, go back. Give us some real questions. Yeah.
Give us some good questions, guys.
Why do you hide those, Len?
It just said ask some questions. That's all it said. You've been answering some real stuff. What's your favorite? Go ahead. Favorite Mexican cheat meal?
Question right here. This is a real question. Cheat meal. Sometimes I was stupid. I would eat the bad stuff before a fight. Getting ready, because when I fought, I only really had to lose 2 or 3 pounds. I used to fight at 179, and I used to walk into the gym 185, without working out, and I used to leave the gym about 181 almost every day, 180. So I only really had to lose a couple pounds. So I kind of ate what I wanted, to be honest with you. So there was no cheat meals for me, because I never ate properly when I was fighting. I never did. I mean, you're talking donuts, you're talking all that stuff I used to eat.
Donuts, chase it with the milkshake, and go kick
Yeah, exactly. Because I didn't lose much weight at all. If I was dieting the way the proper dieting they do now, then I would be a 155er. But as it was, I fought at light heavyweight. So, but again, I didn't really diet. I didn't. I just trained.
I like this question. This is a good question. Hashim Ahmed. The secret of being a cool and funny coach. I know what they're saying.
Enjoying what you do, loving what you do, and if you have laughter in your heart, and you got love in your heart, then you can. It just comes out natural, and I do have love, and I do have all those characteristics you're talking about. I love what I do, and when you love what you do, it comes out like that. So I understand perfectly what you're saying, and I love what I do, and when you love what you do, you enjoy it. It comes out in who you are.
That's true. Icon, do you see Usman unifying Bellator UFC belts? Well, kind of they asked that earlier.
Yeah, they kind of asked that earlier, but let's get him to top 5 tier first, then let's see where we go from there. Then hopefully we can fight for the title and get that title, and then we'll shoot for unifying after that. So I would love that. In a perfect world, yes, I would love to have that happen. In a perfect world.
Here's a great one. Can anybody train at AKA? Explain the differences, right? Like what's perceived and what is, right?
Yeah, everybody can train. We're a martial arts school. We have classes for children, adults. We have classes in jiu-jitsu. We have MMA classes. We have kickboxing classes. We have boxing classes. So we have it all. Just go to www.akakickbox.com and you'll have us online there. You can even actually sign up online, and actually you have to go online now these days to reserve a class because of the COVID situation. everybody has to reserve online, or when they come in, if the classes are available, there's an open slot you can get in.
Okay, let's see. Coach, how do you think the fight between Cyril Gane and Francis would look like? Who do you have as a winner? We answered that last time. Why don't you give your take?
Well, the thing about Cyril Gane is he's so talented. He's so multi versed in everything, and he can do it all. I see this fight as a favorable fight for Cyril to win. Francis, like Francis, the great Francis that he is, can knock you out with one shot. He is harder than anybody I've ever seen, and I don't see that happening anytime soon where he loses his power. So the power edge is the Francis, and Cyril's got the overall mobility, overall arsenal.
This one is very interesting. What were your thoughts when Khabib jumped the cage after McGregor's fight? For me, it was like 2 main events in one pay-per-view.
For me, it was like I was on top of the world till somebody just chopped my legs off when I turned around. I didn't see the cage jumping. When I hear this commotion, I'm turning around the other way. I look and I just thought, I cannot believe what I just saw. I go, what the hell happened? Yeah, it was. I thought we were done. I thought that was it. On top of that, I didn't even know if we were going to get out alive. that was a bad one.
Good one here. Are you planning to build a room for all the packages, all the fan mail?
The fan mail's still coming. My office is full. If I could show you guys my office, which I won't because it's a pigsty, and most of it is Khabib
fan mail,
Islam, and fan mail, and all my other junk. I'm a junk collector, so yeah, it's pretty bad. My office is pretty bad. I just don't know how to organize anything. I do not. But that we have the fan mail now, and unfortunately, some fans, it's going to take honestly a long time for them to get their packages back.
I was thinking, I know I'm bringing it up on here, but we should do an autographed, AKA shirt or something, giveaway to some of the people that tune in on this because they support our channel eventually. So we'll have to come up with an idea on that. Maybe clear out your room a little bit. Anything that's on the floor that could be signed. What do you think?
We have stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just have Khabib sign more stuff and have other fighters sign stuff.
That would be cool. That's your incentive, live stream watchers. Len, question for Coach. And I'll give my thoughts too, but I don't have a lot to say. What are your opinions if you were the UFC president that you would change? It's a deep thought.
Well, they're doing such a great job. Man, to be honest with you, if I'm being biased, then I would say let the champions fight the champions, but that's only benefits
you as the coach. Now you're the president, you're not the coach anymore.
Now I'm the president of the UFC, so I have to think what's best for the UFC, and that's for them to continue to monopolize everything like the way they're doing. They got the big market share of the pay-per-view, and if I'm the UFC president, I mean, yeah, and I all of a sudden I go, okay, your champion can fight my champion. All of a sudden I water down my champion because maybe he loses, and I give you power. So then I get fired. As a UFC president, I last one session. That's a tough question. I don't know what I would do to change things because, man, whether you like him or not, Dana does an unbelievable job. If it wasn't for Dana with this COVID situation, my gym would have probably went under.
He kept the sport alive.
He kept the sport alive. He kept me going with Khabib in Abu Dhabi. Without that, I don't know if I would have made all the fees and everything I had to pay. A lot of the money that I got through Khabib went to support the gym, keep it open. Right. So Dana dares to dare, and
it's hard to fault him for any. It's hard to pick on him, right?
It's for me, it's impossible to pick on him because to me, if I'm the president of the UFC and he's got to answer to Ari Emanuel, man, all they got to do is pat him on the back. Maybe some of his choicey words, when he goes to battle with people, calls them all kinds of names. I guess that's the one thing I wouldn't do that. That's the one thing I wouldn't do. But I guess that's it. Everything else that is done, I don't know if I would do it any other way. but maybe I wouldn't. And and that's him. That's his personality. I have a great relationship with the guy. And I don't think I would do anything different.
There's a great question coming up. Let me give you my 2 cents on that. I would think that, what I think some people imply, like, what about the judging? He has no control of that, unfortunately.
Zero.
If we could change it for him, he would love us, and everybody would like some of the scores better. That's my opinion. You'd have to come up with some type of metrics, some kind of way, but modify it from boxing and make a true MMA scoring template. I think. They look at dominance, they look at different things, right?
Yeah.
Somebody wants to know about Mo Alec.
Mo is going to be fighting on at the UAE Warriors in Abu Dhabi, and I will be there with Mo for his second pro fight. He's fighting a guy that's 4-0. He is 100% going to be a star. And the kid's young, got gas for days. I mean, he has got cardio like you would not believe, and he's learning so well. He is. Expect more from Mo. Mo's a star on the rise. Not a star yet.
Right.
6, 7, 8 fights from now, people are going to start noticing this kid. I'm predicting champion, not future champion.
Super judo guy, right? I mean, I've seen him. So
it is good judo. I wouldn't rate him as a super judo guy. He has good judo. I mean, because super judo guy, that means an Olympian, a gold medalist. That's a super judo guy. He's not that. He has good judo.
That's true. Well, I think this has been a great podcast, Todd. We got a lot of questions. We talked about a lot of stuff. We went long, and it's just relaxed. We're not trying to push it out there. We enjoy talking to you guys. We love the subscribers. Make Javier happy. He just likes numbers. I like numbers too. We just like numbers. And we'd love to see more subscribers. And any good suggestions that I see in the comments about making this thing better, I will take action on it. So anything planned for, we got to watch the PFL real quick, right, Jav? Is that ready to go tune in and watch those?
No, I got my guys. I got to train my guys. I can't watch them.
Yeah, I gotta let you train.
See, that's the problem. It's like, when they're on and the Bellator, I'll be training people with the Bellators on. So when you guys hit me with this person or that person, it's like I'm busy doing other things. So when I have free time, I'm watching. But unfortunately, I can't watch them all.
Well, I mean, you get guys to go train, and yeah, man, you can't see them all. Who are you training tonight?
Romero Cotton, Mark Lamaco, and Mo Alec.
Yeah, the one they just asked about, right?
And my son. I helped my son out a little bit at the end. I've been starting training him because he wants to learn just, at one point, hopefully he can follow in my footsteps and I can teach him the ropes and how to coach. But right now he's still learning.
Well, that's great. So you've got those guys. People have asked if you could bring another coach on. They'd like to see your other fighters that you got going on the live stream. So let me know if that's possible in the future. Be cool to kind of bring him in because people just want to know what it's like to be in your environment. These are hardcore AKA fans.
Well, ask how many fans want to see our head jiu-jitsu coach, Ron Kessler, come on here and share his knowledge. He's extremely knowledgeable. And if enough of you guys want to see Ron Kessler, please write it down that you want to see Ron Kessler. And we'll put him on next. Yeah, put it in the comment section. You guys want to hear more from our head jiu-jitsu coach, and actually when I'm gone, he's the head coach for Team AKA, Ron Kessler.
He's in the corner a lot. People see him on the UFC now, especially when you're like in Abu Dhabi and there's a local fight going on in Vegas. He takes care of your fighters, right?
Yeah, he's a name. He's a name that people are going to know about. Hopefully sooner than later. People don't know how great he is, and So if you guys want to hear more about Ron Kessler, and he started with Team AK fighting for us when he had, I think, his third or fourth pro fight. He came to us back 15, 16 years ago.
Well, this has been an awesome podcast, Todd. We went long, we went hard. You get training. Thanks for coming on. Thank you, everybody. Subscribe to our channel and catch the next one. And you got to subscribe to be able to add comments. I guess that's how this
Look at my hair. I'm going bald.
Hey. Great haircut, Hav. Looking good. You grow that in. Get a ponytail next
I think
next
so.
podcast. It's the headphones, brother.
It's the headphones. I don't know, but it looks. I see. It looks like I'm losing my hair. Yeah, maybe the hair transplant